A little bit. See what he's up to. Ads, never mind. Lead. Okay. Huh? Alright, a little Nidor faction. Let's see, what do we... I think there's a world where we fight for this square. Go like this, and we end up giving control of this square up. I think Catalan is an answer. Not actually sure, but I'm going to go and expand right here since I already have control of this diagonal. The problem is going to be, do I ever let this bishop come in? I'm just going to put pressure on him quickly. He still hasn't developed. I'm going to let him take this pawn if he wants it. Oh? Huh. This feels like it's good for me. I mean, the Zhuigen Zug doesn't even do anything for him, and now I'm also attacking here. I've got two knights in the middle of the board. I'm about to do this. He has no way of dislodging this thing either, so I just feel like I'm in a really good spot here. Now I'm going to be able to do something like this and then open up attacks on potential like checkmates. As long as his development doesn't all come with tempo. But there's like getting to be a world where I could even do this potentially. He takes, I go here, that's check, check. No, that doesn't work. Alright, so we'll just do like this, put pressure here. I think I'm willing to kick this bishop like here. I have to deal with this pin though. Alright, pin's dealt with. Now we're threatening some nasty discoveries. Including, alright, so he's where he thinks that he can cover. What if I do like this? And should I move this bishop out of the way first? The other thing I can try to do, I can try to protect this square so that the queen can't just gobble up my knight. Alright, I should be able to get up on this guy now. Oh, I should have done this first. This was just available. No, he would have just taken here. No, yeah, it would have been fine. Shoot, trade, trade. No, it would have been hit, hit. He has to run, and then I'd take here. Whoops. We go check. No. There's bound to be an in-between move I'm just not seeing. So you know what? We'll just pile drive in on this thing. This becomes a problem as well now. I've missed so many attacking moves. I need to be quick. Hey! I just walked. No, it's not checkmate. I'm still covering that spot. Okay. He's trying to go here. He's got this now. Hey, there. Now he goes for infinite checks. Fudge me! Why can't I just move quicker? Oh. Oh, I'm sure I had him done. Rip. I'm a little distracted. No, that's on me. I gotta play that better. Alright, so this is where I felt like I was winning already. Haven't done anything to screw it up yet. Kick this out. Alright, so this was a wasted tempo. What did it want? Just F5? Yeah, right. Oh, of course. This is already in trouble. Well, it's not in trouble yet. Oh, would this trap the bishop, though? Yeah, it would force him to take it. Because if I go here, even if he gets away, I still just get to attack these things. No, it just wants me to go F6. Oh my god, that's how much it likes my position. What if he takes... Knight takes F6 check. So what's wrong with this situation? Oh yeah, of course. F here. Pawn would be good. All right. That'll do it. All right, TFT? I think we can play TFT. That's just worried about putting this on the table, you know, mashing it. I mean, I've got this wrist guard. I could play up and kind of have it suspended. Maybe I can make this work. What can I work on? You know what? Go training. I can do some training here. Posture, mechanics, faster button presses. We can do this. Play some Vayne. Vayne is strong. Build paths are just so nice now. You get to solve your wave clear with Static Shiv. You can go Trinity Force. The win rate is absolutely absurd on this item. You can go Rage Blade, but Trinity Force gives like the nice meld of stats. Basically just become very naturally good at dealing damage. What else we can look at? Pickups. Jared Goff at home against Seattle that actually got lit up. They were supposed to have a Legion of Boom, and instead they let Stafford throw for 364 yards. So maybe I can keep Goff here, but they're obviously going to address that. These guys are very obviously bench players, except for Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers might just be better than DeAndre. 10 targets, plenty of usage. Guy's clearly the focal point. Rashad Bateman also just didn't really even play that much. 9 for 60. 13 targets. It's like, kind of have a glut here. Maybe I have too many guys. Zay Flower, I mean, tough. Now this can be for laning phase. We can do bone plating a little bit better in the late game. The extra item I don't really care about, I don't think, so much as having these stats. Depends what's coming out from them. Hyper aggressive laner to go with Vayne feels really good. I'll let her go for this. Trying to wombo. They've got one champion. I don't know. Right. All right, so self-peel will be good. The cage is very good against Kindred. You kind of force them to pop it. If they do pop it, then you just get the cage out. Use Malphite ult at the end of the resolution. Malzahar is good against it. Very good splash in that area. Cho'Gath, fantastic frontline for us. Also a very good matchup into Malphite. The Veigar is a counter pick to Malzahar. And I'm going to go cleanse. I'm also going to get this because of everything they've got here. Also, very tempting to go here. Maybe just armor on the rune for the lane, and then I'm going to buy like an early Wit's End because this team is definitely a Wit's End type of team. Surprised that this rocket doesn't want to go heal. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are good. Should we move the cam or should we keep it here? I know you guys like the shot. Alright, Soraka, heavily laned. Let's see, we're working on posture and mechanics. Oh, it's going to be a reminder. Front edge of your seat, front half of your seat. Gets you in a better posture. There is a player that plays Valorant, I want to say, that like lays down. Literally footrest up, completely out. But as far as best actuation, you basically want like piano player poses, right? Elbows out 90 degrees. About 30 degrees away from your armpit. Out here, this is where you want to be. So for reference, this is the sort of position that you want for the best performance. It gives you variability. You get to move around. It's easy to move. And you know what? We're long overdue for practicing mechanics, so might as well get into some of it. Ash Bard with Ignite. What do I want to do about them? I think I'll go like this. Farm up to my heart's desire. This lets me be pretty aggressive with all the poking. I am missing out on Cull, which means my 2-item spike is a little bit worse. We can get that on first back. There's definitely an argument for getting it first and just getting the OP 3 lifesteal per hit. Kind of suicidal the way this guy's doing this. You can also hold your recall button and wait until you're 7.5 seconds in before you drop that ward. No big deal though. Alright, posture, the name of the day. It's a little bit of an ab workout if you're not used to it. Certainly not as comfortable as just hanging out. Not good for most norm gamers, but people trying to get good, this stuff matters. Wish I could bring my desk down about half an inch, 1 inch. Give this guy the leash he wants. Of course, you guys all know that we don't tend to leash. We think leashing is pretty bad, but it will get the jungler a little bit ahead. We just have to play like we don't have the advantage from bot lane. Minions, take care of her, please. Thank you. Barely. We like to live dangerously. Alright, we're gonna go Cole. Wade's like in an okay spot. Bard has a really tough time pushing this out. So it's not going to hurt us too much to do this. Hopefully Soraka can just hold this wave. Bard's trying his damnedest, but he's just got nothing doing. So, right, he's just stuck on this thing. Yeah, just hold the wave. I don't know what this all in is for. Hold it, hold it, hold it. There you go. Pull it away. Pull it away. Badge. So that would have been checkmate right there. Even though we lost. Right, because you hold that wave, you go out, and basically they can't touch anything, and we're just in time for Kindred coming back to lane. Instead, we'll take this and we'll turn it into a slow push, which is fine. So basically, they can't really look to trade on us right now. And stand right here in the middle of the minion wave, very hard for them to get. Kill! Kill! Silence is good. One more Q! Oh no! Gotta work a little bit on our dancing. This is kind of funny though. Yeah, it was ready. See, now here's the problem. Now Bard's gonna do something. He's gonna try to hold this. He should just basically stun backline minions. He's gonna get a recall, but he should be stunning these first. Try to stop it from coming in, right? It's not about the last hits. Instead, he's gonna greed and go for the experience and try to stay for longer. And now we've got a 1v2 situation where we can try to pummel this Ashe. My minions aren't hitting her. Hey. Did she not heal me? Okay. Alright, maybe getting a little bit too aggressive. I don't think Boomer Bird's too experienced on this, so I have to play a little bit back, but that's okay. We can keep on working on our mechanics. Now I'm happy. I'm actually kind of leaning on my right shoulder. I need to be careful to avoid this. I'm still really tentative about getting my tattoo on the table. Don't do that. We just tax them the maximum, right? Like... Congratulations, you guys got Dragon, and since then you have lost multiple waves. Oh, missed him. That's not good for me. Probably the most gold gated champion in the entire game. Alright, we got our lane state coming back to us. It's definitely feeling a little bit clunky. Let's see if I can move this over. This might give me a little bit more space. How does that hit me?
Enemy killing spree.
Should be killing this lady. Not ideal. Missing a whole wave just to come over there and poke, get an award, not worth.
will soon fall. An ally has been slain.
Are we going to be big enough? 17-4. I don't think so. It's gonna be a game. What's up, Bunk? How you doing?
Your turret has been destroyed.
We haven't seen Ashe, so it might. She could be somewhere else. Most likely is that she's just right here. We get this plate. Soraka's being very selfish by stealing that.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Let's get out. It's fine. Gearing up for Thursday Night Football against Minnesota. Yep. I should be hype. What do we want here? I think it's going to be all this. The extra survivability is nice as well. You can side lane now, Mouse. Nothing to do mid. This guy was talking about learning his new champ, so we don't mind helping him out with that. Need to see the offense get going. Yeah, I mean, you should. Rip. Been hit by spells. This guy AFK. Yeah, I mean, the Pats played you well, for sure. For sure, and like, it makes it pretty exciting. I've got the Dallas defense and New England, so if New England can do that to you, and Dallas did what they did, I'm gonna be pretty happy in a league that likes defenses. That's the matchup that we want here. No Iceborne Gauntlet. He's got Merc Treads, 100%. This is what we want. Keep going, keep going. All in, all in. Now, Vayne has like this conundrum, right? Do you treat her like an AD carry? You want to get solo resources as much as you can.
Legendary.
Too early on the cleanse. That's okay. Alright, we can go next. Team's kinda empty. That's alright, we'll get another one in. Still haven't had a chance to get an E-flash off. This guy's the Yankees. OP. Yeah, JC and Jordan Davis. Yeah, that interior looked pretty good. I mean, you saw the entire offense that the Patriots was running was just like bing, bang, bang. Like what was it? 2.49 was the average play speed. Just bam, 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 bam. Balls coming out so fast. So we couldn't have to deal with that interior rush. And it makes sense. But I mean, our Patriots offense looked really, really good. And I think it's going to be even better once they figure out what Mike Gesicki's going to do. Hunter Henry's been in the building for a year. Mike Gesicki can have like a whole nother tier that is going to amplify like the receiving options. Now the question is he actually a tight end or is he just a receiver that's big? And we need him to be a tight end because we want to be able to play 12 personnel, stash 2 guys there, and run routes, but also be able to inline block. So it'll be interesting to see what comes from that. Patriots, honestly, you know, Patriots looked like the better team apart from the first quarter woes. They looked really good, so things are promising. Mac Jones looked great. Jalen Hurts is just unstoppable, though. Anytime you think you've got something up, he's like, all right, I'll take this one and run it out. And it doesn't matter if you spy him or anything. Like, there's no guy that's athletic enough to take him in the open field. Even when we had that clear blitz on him, Christian Gonzalez had the clear blitz and almost just missed the tackle, you know, Cam Newton style. But yeah, the Eagles should be good. They should be fantastic. Devontae Smith is open on every single play. A.J. Brown. I don't like that they tried to give him bombs. His long catches in Tennessee were slants. They were play action slants. Get the linebackers up, bring A.J. Brown behind them, and then have him run in a foot race against a safety. That's what I think the Eagles really need to create for him. Yes, it looks like he has multiple huge gains, but I'm not going to say none. Not as many of them are from like just teardrop balls, which are extremely challenging to throw. Oh boy, 2 hyper carries. Maybe we should change this up. There were so many plays where Goddard was wide open. I need to see more targets. Yeah, did you see that one in the end zone? Plays even rolling to the outside, right? He's coming down, rolling out, and somehow he misses it on that, like, oof. And he was sitting there too. It was like against a zone. There was just a pocket. It was like a complete blown coverage by the Pats. The sort of thing that you see and you're like, whoops. I'll leave Draven up in case Vayne gets banned. We want to have another guy that we can practice mechanics on. Yeah, how about DeAndre Swift though? What did he get, like 3 plays? Well, Gainwell's good. If you remember, Gainwell was he outperformed Antonio Gibson, and Antonio Gibson's a starting back in your division, and Gainwell was stronger than him at Memphis. At least that's what I think I'm thinking of. And you had Darrell Henderson. There's been a lot of running backs that came out of there. Hold on, I think I'm getting that one wrong. I'm thinking of someone else. No, he was at Memphis. Okay, yep. You want to see more Swift? Yeah, I mean the hype from last year's camp, they were talking about him as if he was different, you know, like, and if he's different, then you should expect him to get it. You hope it's not like a playbook thing. Miles Sanders was he got benched by Saquon Barkley. Yeah, he had to give up his spot at Penn State to Saquon. And for all we know, he might have been the second best running back in the entire country. Oh boy, this is a tough game. All right, oh my. This is about the worst lane I could imagine playing. It's probably bad enough that I'm going to swap out to something more normal. Rengar. Okay, so the extra health is really nice. The extra mobility is really nice. Being able to fly around these fights will be fantastic as well. In lane, if this is a... I don't know, what would it ever possibly be to make me not want to go lethal tempo against Rel? I don't know, maybe nothing. Pantheon? Oh my goodness. Alright. So just don't get all in during a stun, and I should be okay. Maybe I just go cleanse here too. Something's goofy down. It could be like an Ivern Rengar lane too. Like, it could easily be something super cheesy like that. If it's Ivern carry, I mean, it won't be Ivern carry. If it's Ivern Rengar. Yeah, there you go. It's Ivern Rengar. The idea is to bush trap, but you know what? Caitlyn's got them on. I've got the counter pick to the bushwhacking. But yeah, it'll be cool to see if DeAndre Swift makes it. Who else did you pick up? The Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny was a first round pick. Like, there's a chance that that guy's legit too. So, you know, could be more. I expect the Patriots' weakness to be the run game too. So I'm surprised that you guys didn't ground and pound, even going like as cheap as read option, and just saying, what are you gonna do? Like, I understand that you want to do an amoeba front, but like the Patriots' base defense is dime. Our base is dime defense. Okay, six, sometimes seven defensive backfielders. All right. I mean, we have insanely good quarterbacks and safeties, so like that's what we're trying to do. And I do think that the future of NFL defense is going to be like a multiple money backer set where you get these like undersized linebackers, we'll call them, and just put them flying around the field and just let them play side to side, sort of like 3-4. You adopt some parts of the 46 defense where you just put like an elite defensive player over the ball, or you can go double A gap like that. You can have two linebackers that are just hovering over the center, and then you plug up the guards with tight threes. I don't know if you got a chance to check it out, but about a week ago I started going over football plays. Do anything more? Like this should get them penalized so hard. Rip. Dude, our schedule, I think, is the hardest schedule that the league has seen in about 15 years. We'll see. If the Pats can make it out, like I think the Pats are going to be really good. Like actually really good. Guy's just inting me. Yeah, but last year's win percentage is not the same. But yeah, that makes sense. You guys also have an incredibly hard division. And you play against another incredibly hard division, right? So like anyone whose matchup is like that is going to be... That's supposed to hit.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. You have been slain. An ally has been slain.
Inauspicious beginnings.
An ally has been slain.
Oh, he let the minions follow him in. He's a scrub. Gave it to the master. You were good. It's tough to not lean. I gotta teach myself to avoid this. So the other thing I'm going to be working on right now is not using my auto attack animation until it's actually up. So that means when I make this right click, I want to keep on moving until I actually have to do this one. Now that one was actually a little bit late. That's hilarious how this guy can jump around. It's like Aurelia on crack right now. This is pretty funny to watch. Alright. We'll cede it to him. Yeah, Tyreek was uncoverable. And it's like people... It's probably going to get patched out, being real. But the Mike McDaniel like offense where you can just... put your wide receivers in motion so that they're faster coming out of the gate. Like, how has no one thought of this before? It was like, yeah, I get to start my route with momentum. That's obviously just better. But watching him come out, like he's flying out of the breaks. Hey, are you serious? It's on me. Why?
An ally has been slain.
Whoa, what did he just do? Did he just attack to one and then cancel the animation? I'm gonna have to check this guy out. Pull him in. That's a heal.
Ally has been slain. I'm still leaning. It's not good. Ah, that hit me in base.
At 7 minutes, so make sure to remind me. I gotta check this out after the game. Yeah. God, he's canceling his own animation. Like, it's so tight. Wow, just cast your R in response to the jump, my man. Take it. They're trying so hard to make these double jumps work. Greedy. Doesn't have any mana. He can't shield this. He's doing it. These guys are too good. It's a workout, man. Not how we normally do things. But I can feel it, right? The fluidity of motion feels like I can react quicker for sure. Ugh. How did this end up happening?
Enemy killing spree. Your team has destroyed a turret.
That's not gonna do it.
You have been slain.
They gave it to Rel. Oh, that ult is still going? Oh my gosh, that's real bad by us. With this ult going, obviously we don't want to continue that fight.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Cool. How did he dodge that? Oh, yeah, meditated. Okay. Jokes? Jokes. Jokes. Oh, what a game. Oh, man. I think this guy's gonna gain some health.
Killing spree. An enemy is unstoppable.
Alright, how do we make it out of this game? Caitlyn 3 items, Yi getting big, Jack's getting big. We are not close to any of those things happening yet. Whoa! Yikes. Oh, it's happened. Oh, yep, there we go. We were waiting for the big spike. Alright, happy with the moves there.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Huh? Huh? This guy's really good. He's much better than us at the game.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
Ringer's bot, we should get something here. That guy's just melting everybody.
An ally has been slain. Executed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Quick. There I was practicing the mechanic, but like, this is what it's going to be like if they came out and jumped me. But that's good. That's good practice, because I'm like, yeah, this would have been the combo, right?
An enemy is legendary. Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Runeterra Reforged. You know what, Swain? I'll give you stayed cool. Whew. Might be enough of that for the day. Shit. I might just have to do it. I mean, I can't even play junk. Maybe I should just not play this game. It hurts. I think I'm doing okay though. Not touching it here. It's too much. Pop out. Huh? Got to be something really bad about. Now I castle and bring our rook over here because we're better developed. I don't know. It's an okay plan. Get to develop this for free. I just need to deal with this pesky knight right here. Do we care? Do we care? We'll let him do this part. He's gonna have a really tough time getting this out, right? He needs to move this to be able to move this. Gonna do the same thing back to him. I might actually use this thing because he's already strong on black squares, so I can get rid of this. Up here, and then he has weaknesses, right? Then he just has like these glaring weaknesses. I think that's what we're gonna do. Now it's just a matter of deciding what squares are the optimal squares for my thing. So if his knight comes out here, that's fine. He actually could have muscled me out right there. All right, so if this goes for a discovery, do I care? I think this is just good. trades. That's fine by me. Winning. Ooh. Oh, okay, okay. All right. The knight guards the pivotal square. Or does it? Oh my goodness. All right. So I almost threw this away. Gonna have to get out of this pin and be careful of this pawn storm here. Okay, that gets me out. Now I get to move this freely. So now I can just come here. I can even put my rook on this row and kind of fork him off. Whichever way he goes, he can't go the other way, right? Oh, that was a mistake by me. Loose. Very loose. Okay. All right, we're gonna do this. Make him decide whether or not he's going up or down, and then we're gonna protect this pawn, and then we should be able to march this up. Check. Queen. You got a little bit too counterplay-ish. Like, he could have just defended by sliding this over here. What is the play? There's got to be a forced checkmate here. I'd like to find it. The reason I went with the rook first is because then when I go here, the queen is still flexible. If you do this one first and then bring the rook, then suddenly you're walling off these squares. Why am I queuing and typing in normals? Isn't that where you would want to type? The reason I'm queuing in normals is because I want to work on stuff. It's Training Tuesday, so I just want to train some things. For me, I'm doing posture today since I just got my tattoo redone. And I don't want to be in my normal like resting spot, so I'm trying to improve like where we're at, but it was getting tired. I need a little break, so we're sitting back for a bit. I think he's already in trouble. I think I just add attackers here, or is it just the immediate lift? Immediate lift, I think he has to answer with something like this. Okay, yeah, he brings an extra defender. That's fair. Trades out. Do I care? All right, I think I've given up an opportunity for like a really, really good start. There's probably a way to just win this in the opening with that start. This is kind of getting him out as well. I have to be careful because this pawn is actually pinned. So in the wrong scenario, this could actually like become fatal for me. Walking myself into another pin, but it's not so bad. I'm gonna make this room for this bishop here. Maybe should have just done it this way. I still should be able to create some sort of attacks. Can move this over, get it out of the pin. I'm just assuming I want it on this side of the map. It's going to protect against some of the bishop lifts. I'm giving him this because I just want to get this rook out for free. Maybe it's actually just this one. I'm already guarding this square twice, so I don't need to worry about the battery coming here. He's up 2 pawns. If I trade queens, I feel like I've just got nothing left. Yeah, I definitely do not have enough out of this opening. I have a back rank weakness as well. If this rook were ever to go away, he'd be looking at a potential checkmate. How do I ever attack this? Guess I block this bishop here. Threaten a little bit on this guy. Yeah, he's gonna take it. So it's kind of, it might be a little bit hard for him to find a move right now. Maybe. He's gonna defend. He can never push this. He doesn't want to back that out, I don't think. If we attack, he's gonna go here. Can I get my queen in? I'm just gonna assume we can do this. Okay. Yep. Touche. Touche. He's going to split my forces like this. Oh, yep. Yep. We're just getting annihilated this game. Can I get a checkmate with 2 pieces? Chances are not all right. All right, I'm gonna go check on this. I think I'm due for another rinse right now, so let me go take care of that, and then I'll be right back. We back. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm gonna come back and try it again. Had a little break, get 2 games in. Like, this is what you want to do when you get these reps. It's kind of like working out. When you work it out, do it, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Try to get ourselves this good posture. Now, since I'm sitting in the front of my seat, I may be able to come up a tiny bit more and get that perfect elevation. I'm pretty close. This probably needs to come up. Still felt like I was leaning, and that's partially because of my setup right here. Felt like I'm leaning this way because my monitor is here. Ideally, I'd want it, boom, front and center, right in front. Keep everything up. Play something a little bit less intensive. Although I can tell you, like, it feels like I'm getting an ab workout for sure. Fiddlestick support. You're trying to climb ranked games, this is probably one you want to get out of. This is correct. Aries fine. There's a grass build that's okay. Problem is you don't want to get too many auto attacks off, even with the empowered off. Nar's a totally fine blind pick. You wouldn't mind having this, but there are some counter picks like Aurelia that are exceptionally good. Camille's very good into it as well. This looks like a prestige skin, right? Like one of the mythics. If we go out this way, he just escapes. If we go this way, we're coming here and only here. This becomes a check, then his only move becomes here. I don't see what's next. Oh, that could be it. Let's see, we go here, pop, pop. Then it's his move again. Now he has to make a move. And then we're gonna have the same position, but with a queen available to us? No, that would be just the same as coming here first. Just take rook. He comes over. Then we check again. Let's see. Pop, pop, pop. How do we get out of the rest of the situation? Because we are going to get hunted for a checkmate if we don't get one ourselves here. Why do I think that this is even a possibility? Alright, Callisto, one of our worst nightmares. Absolutely, this can be a super tough matchup. She can all in us the moment we cast a spell, especially with a Fiddlesticks here, who's probably not going fear level 1, but we'll see. I mean, I don't see anything. There's only one way to start this sequence is out here. And he comes up. He's not going to go here because he doesn't want us to take the rook with check. Then what? Could it be you just take this? That can't be right.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
Probably came out around the same time, right?
Minions have spawned.
Norm players aren't trying to min-max, so we're always going to give this guy a little bit of a leash. Normally the best thing to do is just come out here and pull it back. I can't do that alone because it's Callista, and if Callista ever gets that spell off on me, or just, sorry, auto attacks off on me, then I just immediately lose. So even right here, I'm in a position where if she comes out of the bush, we're just dead. Basically going to be just doing this long range farming. Going to be one of the most boring lanes ever. Now Emilio's not hitting, helping with last hit, so they're not getting a fast 2. That's going to be game saving for us. They're looking at it. They're thinking about it. I don't like how the Fiddlestick's playing it so far. Oh, wait for the draw aggro. Not coming to the minions? Okay. Oh, it was enough. We knew it would be the case. Thought we'd get out of range. They know it. dig it. All right, we got it in. We're doing all right. This shouldn't be enough. It's pretty close, though. It's actually kind of concerning. Very, very close to being plate lethal, but that's no big deal, right? You don't actually win the game off these early plates. It's the tempo and the experience that we're looking for. They're going to keep on trying to find all-ins against us because they absolutely can. They could have done it more at level 1. They did do it to us at level 3. And basically right now, this is where we're in a lot of trouble with this Berserker Grieve. So I'm just going to be bouncing the wave, and that's it. Wow, it's too bad. Got you. Okay. Accept. I accept. Oh, did we not touch the plate? Rip. Ugh. Attentiveness. Cast your spell so I can cast mine. Thank you. We're doing okay. Execution-wise, could have done that better. Definitely took a couple clicks to the right. Could have gone left. I don't know what happened to my Q there. It felt like it didn't deal damage to anyone, but so maybe it just went into the middle of a Melio shield. Didn't see. I'll have to look again. That reminds me, after the game, I have to check 7 minutes on the Rengar game to see what he did to double jump. What's up, guys? How you doing? Let's hold this wave. We good? They're going dragon, no big deal for us. Just gonna cull this down a little bit. That was actually too much. Shit, I've already reached my threshold. That's on me. Now, something you can do with mages, I'm not gonna demonstrate right now because there's a Callisto on my face. But I can cancel. Use my S, 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 right? So I'm like canceling every auto, and then I can release it when I want to, right? So like that's just a way that you can get more precise last hitting on mages. You like that? We have to get out. We don't have resources. I've got teleport anyways. I'm looking at the top lane as well. There might even be a play for me to teleport to up there. And I have Landry's, so I'm going to be looking, kind of checking all the boxes. Oh, he went flash heal. Did he go to the minion? That's right. Ideally, we would have gotten this chunk down. This actually could have been a full turret down if he had done this correctly. We did not need the Herald down to help with this. But we can grab the 4 plates. Nar is also kind of like a quasi-AD carry, so he's actually totally fine down there. So we don't even mind this like lane swap. Does Nar actually want this? Looks like he wants to stick around bot. He was totally fine to come up top. It's too bad that we didn't actually clear the whole thing. And we have our OP wave clear on lock, so we're good. Now I'm gonna go start laning mid. Level 9, I'll be getting the far side alteration. That'll be coming up soon. Lee Sin's still got 16 on this, so he's probably not looking to spread his blue, although it's possible. Nico trying to get a little bit cute. Nar trying to get a little bit cute. Oh no. Listo wins this, right? Nope. Any amount of spells missing there would have been a problem. I'm dead. Rip. Tried to do a little bit too much, got it in a weird angle. No good to do it that way. No reason to try to force that. Nico, you can side lane. Probably not the type to want to do it. Like, imagine if Nico had come to pick up this whole thing, right? We would have missed out on nothing here. I mean, that's not true. She did get a plate, so it's not nothing.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Still have this. I'm still looking for it. Do it. Oh, Lee Sin could have kept on going forward there. It would have been solid. Really want to get out of this lane. Nico does not appear to want to leave here. $800 gold, yes please. But it cost me this kill. We're just gonna swap over, let Kalista take out the rest of this turret, no big deal. This is a good fight. I don't think there's anything left for me to offer to it. Good. This ward's kind of useless. Don't recommend it.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Ready. I'm ready. It's not coming. Alright, should we try a Gnasher's Tooth build? Just go with the tried and true. See if Fiddler wants a piece of this. He does. They didn't see that coming? Felt kind of obvious, no? Alright, so we'll pick up this plate for ourselves, this turret I should say, and then we'll rotate over. Nico still has not moved over, so this is going to be a little bit of a battle for us. Luckily, we're pretty good in a self-sufficient situation. Would have liked Fiddle to stick with me so that he could stay on my tempo. He doesn't really gain anything by being out on the map before me, especially with no ultimate. But I can just stick around down here, keep these waves pushed. It's not the worst. Alright, Lily is showing, so we're good. We can step up. This guy wants something right now? Is there a Rengar nearby? What's going on? This guy's limit testing. That's what he's doing. These guys might be a little bit tilted. That guy's dead. Ha! Oh, I missed. Rumba! I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I gotta run. Yeah? Uh-oh. I'm dead to any spell. Her E's on like a 12-second cooldown though, so I'm okay. Whee! You know what I'm gonna do is run in the path of these turrets. I'm gonna go right here and make sure that the bowling ball can't hit me. There's a lot of angles you can shoot from like here all the way into the base. Alright, we're alive. I think it's gonna be one of these type of games. Looks like all the kerfluffling is happening. We're not going to really be playing around vision too much. We do want to help Fiddlesticks out, and we want to have this down for the Baron, but looks like people aren't really rotating, so it's going to be one of those games where you're just kind of straightforward. We can just take Baron right here. Now it's this stage of the game where you actually want to be sparing with your with your auto attack usage, because I just want to keep this thing stacked up, right? And as long as I'm continuously casting spells, I'm going to have all these charges on my performance. That's lethal. Beautiful. Easy peasy. Now it's a little bit greedy right here. It's fine to get this in. It's going to hit for 2/3 no matter what, so we don't actually need to go any further. What we want to make sure is that we're not getting hit by stuff like that. So I'm just going to speed these guys up to get them out. We have a drowsy effect already in play. That guy's got red buff, and I have no turret here. Well, that's exactly what we didn't want to get, and it was just a random hit. One person getting hit by the E, the Lilia E, means that they're going to be able to chase us down. So going in, right, this turret, we were never really going to take it. The extra Herald charge is nice. It's great. Like, you get it in, that's fine. But we could have taken our reset, and we would have been back on the map faster, which would give us more tempo to make more plays later. We're pretty big though. 3 items at this stage in the game, we should be okay. It's tempting to ult right here. We just go straight here, honestly. Just straight here. They're going to recall 100%. Go catch him in the trap. Big damage. Okay. Oops. As one, please. I could have zone used that and then use the W to get out and then flash over the wall. Fiddle a little bit. I'm trying to do too much. It was fine though. Ended up working out being okay. That's a free take. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking tier earlier and going for Archangels later. No, this is a mistake. And give this guy some insurance. Yeah. Alright, where should we go? It's totally fine for me to hold down mid. We generally want Gnar here. We also want to get a split push. We've got the teleports are missing. We've got Nico's teleport, so she should be okay to split off on her own. Apparently, nope. That ain't it. That's why you don't int in mid lane. You're just putting yourself in the same. Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't even see myself get stunned. But it's okay. It's gonna feed into the Lee Sin. We still don't have Gnar. So ideally what you want to do, let the supers push up just like this, and then you want to go into side lanes. You want to have someone that has their teleport off in the side lane if they can stand by themselves. If they can't, which some people can't, then you just have to stay with the team. And then you kind of push in slowly, right? You let all that pressure get in, and you use Baron to break structures. That can be enough to get you enough gold to then go off and shop, plus the half level that you get for killing Baron by itself is kind of what puts you in that checkmate position. Fiddle for Milio, we're fine with that. Proliferate, please. Thank you. So my ultimate, by touching anyone else, it went off and continued pushing. Ooh. Again, I'm going to save my auto attacks because I want the empowered ones for the turret. Wow, that guy's got some damage. Plus 50 gold, GG. How's it look? Whew. Setting up takes a lot of work. This fiddle played the lane great. I mean, for one, Callisto needed to do more, for sure. But once we had the fear locked in, and it's just a matter of like, all right, she's showing some aggression. Ideally, what you want to do in response to that lane that has prio against you, and they can decide what to do. If Callisto's stepping forward, the moment she hits me with one auto attack, she'll grab all the minion aggro. That's when you drop the Q onto her, you fear her back into the minions. That allows me to hit my E, and then she's rooted, then we can step back. She takes all the brunt of the minion damage. We has to move out. We can wait for cooldowns to come back up, and that's kind of how we can survive playing that lane. But level 1, they absolutely could have brutalized us. Patch 18 notes. Oh boy, we gotta check this out. Is that tomorrow? Yes, sir. All right, perfect. Let's take a peek then. Thank you for getting me that. We are not reading Bill Walsh. Not need to have this there. This can be shrunk. Also, this back page can be moved. Excuse me for a moment while we get this done. Thanks for posting this, Ben. Thank you for finding it. All right, patch notes. This is the world's patch, so this is the biggest one of the year. Let's see if they can get this right. Come check out what we're cooking in patch 13.18. Hopefully you guys can see all right. Let me see. Do I need to do one of these? Control plus. The control plus or function plus? Not function. I thought you could zoom in the screen with control plus. I don't know. It's not working. Maybe some screens don't have that capacity. In this patch, we welcome our newest champion to the Rift. Briar, the restrained hunger, is here and ready to sink her teeth into her foes. There's no way that she'll be around for Worlds. I wonder what champions taste like. Probably not very good, but that's all we're serving up. We also have Ishtal Clash. Dude, I want to get Clash going. Let's make it happen. A new mythic shop rotation and a handful of street demons dishing out some chaos. Hold on a moment. Get the recording going. How's it look? It looks okay? Yeah, control plus is what I just did, and it's not working. So maybe it's on the other side? Nope. Maybe we're already zoomed in. We're quickly approaching the League of Legends World Championship, which will be Oh, it's going to be played on 13.19. I think this is a change. They intended on it being 13.18. So this will be the last, like, patch where they're trying to change where champions are. The next one's just going to be like a tweak, like let's tighten the screws, make sure everything is in a good spot. As a result, we're continuing to trickle in more changes aimed at professional play. We're also doing follow-ups on the previous patch. Jarvan was a big winner, obviously, of last patch's item changes. Dark and Kane's nerfs were compensated by item buffs, and Tryndamere landed stronger than we had intended. Yeah, you think? That's because you guys don't understand what makes this game tick. Speed and range. Hit them, they can't hit you back. You get one extra auto that completely changes the game. We're also tuning up a few champions and systems that haven't found meaningful success. See, alright, so here's the problem. If they're like, hey, let's take a big chunk out of stuff, and like, some things haven't been working great, so let's take a peek. Let's take a peek and like push some stuff up. Now you make a volatile change right before the world's patch. I'm glad to see that the list is low though. Oh my gosh. Ben, Aurelia's getting buffed. I know you know this. You must have known this. This is why you brought it here. Aurelia getting buffed. This is such a big deal for you. Holy shit. All right, so here's everything at an overview. Catch my breath. Good to go. It's a small but very nice buff. Hey, you know, that's what you want sometimes. All right, here we go. Let's start it off. We've got the Briar is making its way onto the Rift. Bard, passive maximum chime stacks increased. Good, because no one's really doing that. Stack duration increased. That's very important. W stacks charges cooldown increased. Okay, Shrine charge time to full heal decrease. All right, so wonderful like quality of life changes for Bard. This is a fun champion fans love to play. A lot of people who love to play Bard are huge Bard fans. We all know that Bard fans are a little bit cuckoo, so I'm glad to see some extra play here. Show them some time in the light. In this patch, we have some nice quality of life changes for everyone's favorite Meep collector. No, my favorite's Meepo. Our goal with these changes is to make Bard's W feel better to use for both himself and allies, while the passive changes should strengthen his fantasy as a roaming champion, especially when traversing large distances, right? Because that used to happen. You're picking up all the chimes, you're going around, and the stacks would fall off while you're in the middle of it. So, passive Traveler's Call. Maximum chime stacks going from 5 to 10, and the duration is going from 7 to 20. That part's huge, right? That means you're basically going to have way more uptime. Makes it much easier to play this champion in a way that only One Tricks really were appreciating. W Caretaker Shrine, the charge time is going up 18. Going up 4 to 18. The Shrine charge to full heal going down by 5 is pretty big, right? Especially in those sieging situations. Shrine movement speed bonus, 30% decaying over 1.5 is now going 20 up to 30. Decaying with a little bit of an AP ratio. So he's got a little bit. You end up with about 150 AP on Bard. So at the end of the game, you're looking at an extra 7% on this. So end game, you're getting a little bit extra. The healing, which is what you want in the early game, is going to go up. And then by the time you're maxing it, because you only have 1 point, this is a very nice buff to Bard. And Bard was niche playable. Basically, there's a lot of, I mean, Chime, I think Chime is going to be at Worlds, right? I mean, Chime was a Bard OTP, and if Chime is at Worlds, that's a very nice sign for him. This is something that you probably have to get used to a little bit. Extra stacks and the duration means you don't need to be as rushed in getting your stacks, but you can go off, pick up your 3 or your 4, get your empowered attacks off. This is a very, very nice buff for Bard, and this might be enough to actually make it show up in Worlds, especially when enemy team picks something like Karma Caitlyn, right? One of these, or Callista and Alistar are huge in the meta. Callista's going to be a huge problem. They pick Callista, you can say, fine, I'm playing Seraphine or Ezreal or something that's like very non-engaging in the bot lane, and you can pair it with Bard. Bard can go leave, Ezreal's left by themselves. You say, we're not even trying to win the lane, we'll instead play to the other lanes. Bard will fly around the map. This should have impact at Worlds. Gwen Jungle. Drungle. Is it Gwungle or Drungle? I know people that say. Is in a pretty sad spot right now. Yeah, well, it shouldn't really be a thing. Does it need to be a thing? It's in a sad spot because you made it a thing and then you nerfed the thing. So I don't know what they're trying to get off of. Gwen Top has also some room for extra power. I'd be careful about that because she's already the paramount counter to tanks, but Gwen Jungle needs a bunch. So this patch, we're taking a heavy swing into bringing Jungle back as a viable magic damage carry option. 1,000 cuts is not only applied per basic attack, but also on each hit of her Q. So this damage cap increase represents a substantial increase. Yes, it does, in her damage to monsters. The passive buff walks back up the jungle nerf from 12-13, which should hit the magnitude we want for the jungle power. Our goals are to retain top Gwen as the top Gwen, but to have jungle as a viable alternative role. Health growth going up by 6. It's her laning that they care about in top lane, so this won't affect her laning. She's still going to be a counter to tanks, still going to get beat up by the other bruisers. She is a nice like AP bruiser type though to have, and the extra 6 health is just nice. Magic damage to monsters going up by 4 and 5. Wow, this is massive. This is a big change. And if you remember, when she was in the jungle, she was a very, very solid jungle champion. So could get played here. As far as going into pro worlds, you basically don't have enough time to play Gwen in these matchups unless you already have someone like Rel picked on the other side. So if you think that they're going Maokai or Rel, right, something like tanky AP, then Gwen's going to be fantastic into those situations. What she won't be able to survive is if champions like Xin Zhao are in meta, which they can be, right? That champion's fine right now. Lee Sin's fine. All these early game junglers are fine. If enemy team is Graves, they're gonna kick your butt. Nidalee is super strong as well. She would have a very tough time against all those champions. But in solo queue, this is gonna be a fantastic thing. The power clear is insane. Still not quite Darius levels, but it's very good to get through it. So highly recommend trying it out for your games. But as far as pro is concerned, it's still going to be mostly a top counter. There might be a situation, like I said, if it's Rel or Maokai in the enemy jungle, and you're looking at your team just needs an AP threat, and you're like, let's say you're at bottom 2 picks, and your blue team, you're looking at blue 4, blue 5, and you know that you need jungler, and you know you need an AD, right? Let's say it's AD. For some inexplicable reason, you've got AD in B4. At that point, you can say, okay, like, yeah, we could swap over and play Corki or Seraphine in the bot lane, or Karthus even, Ziggs, and then pick other junglers. But if you wanted to go and you already had like Renekton locked in and Tristana, for example. But the other thing that this opens up is the potential for flex picks, right? Let's say you're red team and you start off with Gwen Rel. What are they going to do, right? And now they're locked into this weird spot where they have to be careful about bruiser types that are really weak into Rel, but they'd be good into Gwen if Gwen's up in the top lane. So you set up this draft where then you're going to have your R5 pick, and you're going to be able to choose, do I want like a second engaged champion? Do I want Gwen to be my top? Do I want to set it up? So perhaps the most meaningful change out of everything here is the fact that because this is coming back, it's going to open up some draft potential, especially for red team at the world stage where everyone on their team is going to be able to play these champions. So could be a pick. Don't expect it to see it in the jungle, but there could be the perfect situation if you line it up by baiting the draft in that direction. All right, that was pretty long-winded. Let's see. Aurelia, our cooldown decreased 15 seconds, so more likely that you get more of these pop-offs at level 10 is basically what this is amounting to. This is going to be one more ultimate while you're level 6 to 10. All right, this is what this adds up to. You'll get one more play off, right, before you have to go. This also tends to coincide with the Blade of the Rune King pickup, so you might actually have one extra ultimate while you have Bork as well. Probably not quite there, but at level 11, where you're getting rank 2, an extra 15 seconds off at all ranks, right, it's going to compound. It's going to be good. And this does make it line up better. And this is where the crux is going to be. In the matchups where you're counting cooldowns, where's this going to change, right? And someone like, for example, a Gnar, who you counter with just your base abilities and everything that you do, they did have windows. Once they're at 6, they're like, I've got 3 Gnar ultimates until you get your next Vanguard's Edge up. So you have potentially now to be armed against that, to be able to bounce around. If he uses his ultimate on you, you get your ultimate in response. It flies while you're being stunned. But this is just very nice quality of life increase. All right, Jarvan needed it big time. He's performing very well, and he's got a sizable buff from Shojin and Gore Drinker changes last patch. His most common later slot purchase are Frozen Heart, Spear Visage, I don't care about Spear Visage so much, Guardian Angel, which enable him to be quite durable and still deal plenty of damage. Or if you're at Worlds and you play in Taiwan, you just play full tank Jarvan and you're unstoppable. This is partially due to his passive, so we'll be nerfing it to tone down his damage in a way that still incentivizes him to build AD. Additional physical damage on basic attacks. Oh! This is a huge nerf. All right, so for those of you who don't know, when you're going through the jungle, you're basically tapping every minion with this, and then it has like a little charge time. So you're talking about multiple hits to every camp as you're going through the jungle. This is going to hit his clear speed significantly. That's going to decrease the time or lengthen the time in game before you're able to get 3 camp ganks off. Even 2 camp gank, sorry, 1 camp get level 2 and go gank is also going to be slower. So expect all the pro teams to get this timer down. This is a huge nerf. This might be enough to like gut punch the thing, honestly. The kit's great. You're still going to want Jarvan. He has a shield. He has a slow. He has a group attack speed increase. He has armor shred. He has the ability to keep people locked in place. Fantastic champion. This is a big nerf. It's also going to take him out of any flexes into solo lanes, which is not something you generally saw, but sometimes you could pick this into something like an Akali and just completely run her over in the mid lane. So that will take a little bit of a hit, although not as much as like versus tanks. Kassadin, our AP ratio increased. This is still a champion that we have 100% S rating on. You basically just only pick it when it's perfect, and when it's perfect, and there's very little they can do about it. We've seen players ask about Kassadin's state after his accidental buff in 13-15. I wanted to take time here to address this. While the change wasn't intended, we are aware of this change immediately after it went live and decided that we are comfortable with this new power level. So they're just going to show this? No, I have to look this up now. 13-15 patch wall. I gotta know now. Kassadin. This is Arena. Okay. What are they saying? What's his accidental thing? Did his arena changes make it into the game? I doubt it. Anyways, this is probably what it was. Magic damage. 40% AP is turning to 60% AP on his R. I mean, endgame, this is a lot. You're casting this multiple times and you're at about 600 ability power. So this is going to turn into an extra 120 damage every single time. Yeah, I'd say that's significant. Again, counter pick only and very hard to get the right situation, especially with champions like Tristana in the mid lane being meta, and where you can even take someone like a Kai'Sa and move them into mid lane and play AD to rampage over or Kassadin. Still going to be only the perfect scenarios will allow you to pick Kassadin, but this champion's strong enough. This change won't change anything, but if you're a mid lane player and you're looking to get a counter pick for your Katarina types, this is the best. It slipped into the patch and wasn't intended. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Kayn. Passive Darken Healing adjusted. Darken R damage decreased. Last patch we attempted to nerf both Shadow and Darken. That's because you guys overpatched it for multiple patches in between that. While his numbers went down, and I'm going to talk about that for a second, because especially Blue Kayn is a super high skill ceiling, more people play the Kayn, right? You buff it, so the more people play it, but because Blue Kayn has a higher skill threshold, you end up getting a downed win rate. Even though you buffed the champion, it went down. That's kind of what happened with Kayn. So they're trying to figure this out. While his numbers went down, we also buffed one of Darken Kayn's key items, which means we only achieved our goals in one of his 2 forms. This patch, we're making good on our goals to weaken his Darken form. It's worth noting that a Kayn who's doing well transforms around level 8, and the old version of his Darken passive scaled from level 1. This change makes the healing more clear and ultimately nerfs his late game. Healing going from 20-30 to 25%. Alright, that's fine. Dark inversion damage dealt, 15, 10. Losing 3% of his bonus AD scaling of target's maximum health on the Umbral Trespass. Okay, that's fine. This isn't going to change his play. It's still not going to see play in pro. Buffing his uptime instead of his damage, as he already deals a reasonable amount of it. Firstly, we're decreasing the energy cost of his E, since he maxes it last. Nope, I believe this is a mistake that people make. It's left at the initial cost of 100 energy for a large portion of the game. Decreasing the energy cost should allow Kennen to use it more frequently to shove waves, trade, engage, and escape. This is a big one for the way I play it. Secondly, we'll be reducing the late game cooldown of his ultimate, as Kennen heavily relies on it to be impactful during late team fights, to the point where people are actually buying Lucid boots so that they could have more flashes, more teleports, more ultimates. That's going to be exacerbated. I think they're still going to do it because teleport is the main reason to get the Lucid boots. You want, if you're going for that one big shocking play, it's definitely the spell pen. But if you're looking at multiple team fights, if your team's going to be looking at every dragon, then Lucid boots is still going to be fine, especially if you're going to be off split pushing. You do have to be careful though with Lucid boots because it makes you cast all your other spells a little bit faster. This is just a nice buff, and frankly, I think Lightning Rush has enough damage attached to it. It doesn't have the on-hit damage that the W has, but a lot of people use E and then max W to get the maximum amount out of it. I understand it, and your E also kind of puts you in a fringe spot, but the extra move speed, the ability to get it off more, I think more than makes up for it, and I've been having a ton of success by going 2 points in Q and then maxing E, so this is a fantastic buff for that playstyle. Rel has been quite strong, yeah, you think? In pro play, she's been played equally as support and jungle, while in solo queue, she's primarily been a support. However, even though she's not as popular in the jungle at the moment, we do plan on continuing to support her viability there. That said, she's deserving of nerfs right now, and there's no way to lower her support power level without hitting the jungle as well. It's important to us. That's not true. You can like take away her HP regen. HP regen is meaningless in the jungle because you're always going to full health. And in bot lane, it gets hit much more. It's important to us that Rel lives up to her fantasy as the fastest support champion. But right now, the counterplay is basically you have headbutt or flay. And we'd like to soften that somewhat. Fair. Morgana Black Shield would like a word as well. But Rel can basically chew through that as well. Bonus movement speed away from enemies. It's getting hit by 3 to 5%. Okay. Towards enemies, being hit by 6 to 10%. So E, I mean, this is a fine place to hit. Not enough. It's not enough. Rel's still going to be used a ton at Worlds, and especially, we'll see if there's one more patch. Basically, the problem with this patch and going with 13-18, 13-19, no one's playing. No one's playing professional games, so you're not actually going to know what's going on apart from like some random small anecdote responses. You know, you can basically exit poll and try to get something out of this. This is going to be, you know, meaningful. It's something, but Rel's still going to be strong enough to get played. Senna is someone who has not been good for a while. So let's check this out. Passive critical strike reduction removed. Okay. W now applies passive to all enemies caught in the AoE. Okay. Yeah, these are two wonderful quality of life changes. No longer reduces critical strike damage chance by 8.5%. Great. I don't know why they felt the need to do that. They wanted to make the champion not a crit marksman and affect different like modes of play, but this was unnecessarily harsh. Area of effect, enemies hit with Last Embrace are now afflicted with a stack of the passive. This is enormous because if you're getting multiple people rooted, then you're getting multiple people hit with the Q. You're going to get more stacks. It's going to stack faster. You're dealing more damage. You're getting more procs. This is just a wonderful buff to a champion that needed it. It's still not going to be strong enough for pro play though. Is there a world where we would want something like a Tahm Kench Senna lane? No, still no. Especially with Kalista being so good. Like you could never play Senna Tahm Kench because there's champions that are just too good at jumping on you. All the engaged supports are meta. Tahm Kench is fantastic into those engaged supports, but if they're playing something like Kalista with Rakan, it's just very, very difficult to combat that, and you'll probably just int the lane. You'd have to come up with some strategy, and they exist, of either creating vertical jungles or going for lane swaps. That's the only way that this gets picked, but if it does get picked, expect one of those things to happen. Thresh is a big week right now. Hey, it's Worlds. What would it be? I believe last year. Let me see. I bet I can find this. Patch 12.18. All right, this is the Worlds patch. I believe, I'm not going to look at this right now. I believe this says, what would it be if another Worlds came by and we didn't patch or buff Thresh? Thresh has been a ghost of his former self, falling behind many of his support peers. We're being cautious with the buffs because we don't want him to become the champion, especially with Worlds coming up. We do want Thresh. All right, it's not this one. Maybe it's the year before. I got to go hunting for this now. 11. Meta for Worlds. Thresh. Arguably the best support in Pro for much of the year. We're taking a larger swing here at his ability to nullify. Okay. Damn, I can't find it. I remember this quote. What would it be? What would it be? What kind of Worlds patch would it be without some Thresh buffs? I'm just going to type this in and see if we get it. Nope. Okay. That'll be the extent of it. Thresh is weak right now. I know that was in the patch notes. I'm 100% sure. If you guys can find it, pop it in the comment and I'll take a peek. Thresh is a bit weak right now, and is a fan favorite both to play and watch. That is true. It's important that Thresh is able to participate as an offensive and defensive support. He's got plenty of kill threat and lockdown, so this change is to ensure he has strong defensive outputs. They recently just nerfed his W, the cooldown. This makes sense. So they hit the cooldown last time, and now they're just giving some extra shield strength per soul. This is a meaningless buff. This is nothing. Right, like over the course of the game, if you're getting, let's say you've got 50 souls, I mean it's a tiny buff, right? Extra 25 to the shield in the end game. That's nothing. Cooldown gated this way more. Still a fine champion. Expected to see some with Kalista, although you don't pick Kalista as much with it because you can have Nautilus, Leona, and Rakan, and Alistar, right? All those champions are better pairings. But you may see Thresh into Kallistas, especially since the Kalista movement, as soon as they queue the attack, they can't move, right? They've already queued their move, so it's going to be attack and move. And if you can get any kind of prediction in on that, it'll be an easy hook to hit. Tryndamere was ridiculously strong because they gave him the extra 50 range. So his health growth is going down by 7 into more reasonable states. That makes sense. And his base attack is being hit again by 2. All right, so this is meaningful. This is over the course of the game. Now we're talking about a 6 AD nerf going along with the attack increase. That said, again, attack speed is what he wants. The crits, yeah, the damage adds up, but they are taking a huge hit at this champion. The attack range is still going to be very nice. I expect one more change for the Worlds patch because right now at mid lane, this champion is oppressive. And he, like, mid lane doesn't care about this, right? It just doesn't care at all. Xayah, base health decreased, health growth increased. All right, so a little bit more vulnerable in lane. Level 6 is where it evens out, and you start scaling into the end game better. The E cooldown is being increased early. Still the first thing that you max, so basically they're giving some windows to punish her a little bit more in laning phase. She actually doesn't have the best laning anymore. This is also going to hit Rakan because of the Xayah Rakan combinations. Hitting either one of them in their lane phase is always going to affect the other as far as how pro viable they're going to be. Still, she has a fantastic kit, and the fact that she scales and these champions and these players are very good at getting through laning anyways. You're absolutely going to see Xayah at Worlds. She should be a top 3 AD carry picked. Crown of the Shattered Queen has very few users. There should be more, with only Azir landing above 15% pick rate. I think it's also fantastic on Fizz. The changes here are aimed at opening up its roster of users by making it a defensive item against all kind of dives, not just ones from assassins. Additionally, the item is relatively pro-skewed, with its strength being focused on preventing short-term bursts, as pro teams are very coordinated and can deal their damage in a very short window. That all makes sense. Finally, we're removing some ability power from the item that helped wave clear when passively hitting minion waves, but increasing its value in a team fight, which should make it a more reliable item. So most of the time on the kits that you're looking for with this, it's going to be an AP. It's going to be someone that's got good wave clear. So we'll see how much the numbers are. Ability power going up by 15. Wait. We're removing some ability power from the item. What? Oh, got you. There we go. Crown will no longer provide 10 to 40 while the shield holds. Okay, fair. This was actually my favorite part about Fizz because you basically showed up out of fog. You always had this bonus. You didn't need the extra parts, but getting extra 15 just flat, fantastic. The 75% damage reduction for 1.5 is now 40 for 2.5. Oof. All right, so in pro, honestly, this doesn't really affect the total amount of damage duration. They know that you have crown, and they'll go in and they'll pop it and have it shake off. The fact that you have an extra second on that window is fantastic. All right, all the counterplay to this item was poke, wait, do a count of 1,000, go, and then you could do that and just basically go in. That's how you beat these shields. Just with that inner count, this is going to be a significant increase to the quality of life, and I'm still going to look to play some Fizz with it. Spear of Shojin. Items in League of Legends will always have a best user. It's inevitable. Did they mention Kled? What's important for items to be balanced for a large pool of champions, and that the outliers are handled as needed. In Spear of Shojin's case, we're overall quite happy with its new shape as a mid-sized fighter item that asks for longer fight commitment to make use of its ability haste. But it's a little bit too powerful, yes. This patch, we're further lowering the attack damage to reinforce its space as a durable item that's functional as an early purchase. Good. Yeah, it's still... they haven't referenced Kled, and they never do. If you haven't played this item on Kled, it's bananas. It's so good. Because endgame, your W, which is your way to get extra damage, extra attacks, and get more courage to remount, the fact that that's up every 3 seconds is incomparable. There's nothing like it to compare it to. When you play this item, you get that. You can also do Navori Quick Blades, although that's a little bit too much on just damage side, and it makes him kind of squishy. Static Shiv getting hit again? No way. The minion damage is getting... They just can't get this right. This is what I still believe, that Freak was there. Like, they don't know it's good. It's still good. Let me tune it up. Let me tune it up again and a third time before people will notice. And now it's just been like the tumble down because everyone plays Static Shiv. Static Shiv has been on quite the balanced roller coaster this year. Initially, it was given generous AP ratio to incentivize hybrid builds and was given extremely strong wave clear to help it stand out in its niche. Ultimately, both of these aspects were simply too game warping. This patch, Static Shiv's wave clear is being tuned to a more moderate, but it's receiving compensation as its overall power level is pretty reasonable. 50 attack damage, or 5 attack damage early, great. All right. The big thing for this is that there are no longer any thresholds where you can use Minion Dematerializer and go through and rip through the waves. That was the big case. They tried to play around with numbers. It just wasn't succeeding. This gave you way too much push for the entirety of the game, especially as the minions get stronger. This is going to affect your end game ability to clear waves. At that point in the game, you still should be able to clear everything with one hit after the Static Shift proc anyways, at least the casters. The extra damage is it worth? The fact that you can hit a little bit harder. Most times when you're buying Static Shift, the idea is that you don't want to take the trade. You're just clearing the wave. You're getting yourself through that mid-game trough and accelerating yourself to 2 items. This should be very good for a champion like Akali, right? So Akali, it's still going to be 1 Q to kill the rest of the wave. The extra 5 AD is just going to be good on your ratios. You're going to get an extra 15 damage out of that. So should be solid on most of the champions. And the fact that you're hitting that much harder for the rest of the game means this is a general buff to the item. You do have those spots where you're going to be clearing the wave. You're still going to have to put that extra auto in to everything. And something like a Kaisa should still be able to get the 1 Q off plus the Static Shiv to go. But it's worth testing. Check at different points in the game. Especially when you have less than 100 AD, right? On the base value of your Q, can you still one-shot the minions? That will dictate whether or not this has any changes, whether if that really stops you from being able to clear waves. Another user who is not going to like this is Vayne. Although, again, 200 damage later in the game, you should still be okay to one-shot the casters the rest of the way down. The extra 5 AD should be nice. Storm Razor was the first item that everyone went over on the pregame. It's getting 5 AD, just a nice quality of life, because right now everyone basically goes Static Shiv. Why would you ever get Storm Razor? This is a buff to Jhin in particular, who is probably the best user of this, because you're critting more often, so you get those extra attack speed, the extra move speeds. Everything about this synergized really well. A little 5 AD should be okay. Champions, ability icons changing, we don't care. Arena ranked rewards, don't care. Mythic shop rotation. Prestige Star Guardian Echoes coming in. This is a pretty fire one. The Immortal Journey Sona is leaving, so last chance to get it. This skin is sick. And we're losing Prestige and Anime Squad. Interesting. Okay. Couple changes there. Bug fixes and quality of life. So yeah, I always do this just because I complain about every patch. Yeah, Rammus is still not here. Rammus still cancels his auto attacks as he comes out of W. Just like an infuriating thing. You're like, ha, I've got this guy. He's my shell turns off. Therefore, I must stop attacking. I don't know why, and I don't know why they don't. Upcoming skins and chromas. Street Demons. Going with the City Slicker stuff. Prime City, Street Demon Zyra. This actually looks pretty sweet. The whole like graffiti art is a fantastic set. This is going to be nice. And Crystallis Motus Talia means that this is probably going to be the next prestige skin at the end of the event. So there you go. That's going to be the patch. I'm pumped. This is overall good changes. Everything here makes a lot of sense. Kai'Sa's going to be a huge part of Worlds for sure. Kennen's going to be a huge part. Jarvan will still be in there. Aurelia as a counter pick. Gwen as a flex option. Bard with Ezreal, something like this. And then Briar's coming in. I highly doubt. There's just basically no way that she's going to be ready for Worlds, right? She's going to be a preseason champ. Here we go. Whew. What do you think? What do you think are going to be the big changes? Kind of makes me want to play Aurelia. Tryndamere, we still haven't had a chance to play on that patch. Zaya's still fine. Rel's going to be fine. Kennen is a champion we love at all times. Thresh is great. The Thresh buff is inconsequential though. Jungle Gwen should be good. I bet they will do the Udyr treatment to Briar. She's not allowed in Worlds at first. Yeah, I mean last year it was no Udyr, no Milio, or Milio was MSI, right? Yeah, when these champions go through these big reworks, the balance of the game, it's still not balanced, frankly. It's closer. The fact that they're like narrowing it down this much, but the fact that they had to wait till August before the game was even remotely close to balanced is a testament to how volatile the preseason changes are going to be. You think she's still balanced as a mid laner? Yeah, it should be a fun game. Maybe I'll play Aurelia. I'll try to queue mid after this and try to get a Aurelia or Tryndamere game. Maybe even Jarvan mid. I'll be right back though. Alright. Game time. Tryndamere. Still shouldn't be playing. Champions are intense for me. Tryndamere Aurelia. Practice these 175 range champs. Aurelia top still has a lot of horrible matchups, although some very good ones, yeah. I think Aurelia is still balanced as a mid laner, pick her mid. Then your bot laner can be a mage, which works well. I mean, yeah. You end up losing a lot of turret damage when you do it that way. But I like it. I mean, I obviously like mages and bot. That's how we're going to look it up. We're going to find the wiki on Thresh. We're going to find a buff that happened close to Worlds. 13.4. Oh, 15. That's one we found before? No. 12.15 patch notes. And Thresh. Nope, that's not the one. $11.18. Nope, that's reduced. It's always on the 15s and the 18s. You notice that? Been dominating pro play. Alright, we're getting warmer then. $10.15. 10.15 and 9.17. Can't find it. Wish I could find it for you. I just remember that it's standing out and be like, what would it be? What kind of worlds would it be without another Thresh buff? Maybe the game's been around a long time. We've been doing this for a long time, so maybe it's one of those. Have another Jarvan. Nope, Jarvan Jin. Oh boy. This is one that I have to crush this one early. Tenacity is going to be good all game. Aurelia skins are sick. Alright, Nunu. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we're definitely here. Basically all the damage in the game that's not Jhin. So Jin's our target for diving. Tempted to go right here, although early Merc Treads is also really good. So I don't necessarily want to over-index on it. We're gonna go here. Soul Fighter Nefiri. Could actually swap things around to make them work out the way they want. They've got Rel and Jhin in the bot lane. That's a pretty explosive lane combo. Nautilus and Aurelion Soul. So Nautilus should get, or Nasus, I should say. Nasus is going to have a free time up here against Nefiri. He can also hit the dogs, one-shot them for stacks. This is a cool splash art. I like this a lot.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. First blood.
Okay.
She burned her flash? How did she not get out of that situation?
Minions have spawned.
It's actually worth getting Sweeper and clearing those out. Oops. Nunu is bot side on 3 camps, which means that this should be a free camp, or we can go just dive this guy. You don't need to ward here. There's nothing to ward. Nunu's up in the bottom lane. Kha'Zix didn't feel like playing. It's okay. We're doing it, by the way. We're gonna have enough defensive itemization that we want the extra scaling from Mana Immune. We'll get the Bork. Wit's End will be great. Don't know if I need to go like Merc Scimitar or anything, but Merc Treads should be plenty. This teleport's going down. We lost 2 melees. That's not bad. This is a really good time to pay attention to top. This guy's holding a freeze, so we just want to put in all of our effort to make sure that happens. Don't die, though. Don't die. Anything to push here? Is this going all the way in? You know, it's not quite going all the way in, so I'm going to do a little trick right here. I'm going to grab and pull the wave. Make sure it goes all the way to the back line. And we'll give this guy free access to the plates by himself. Guy's actually killable, maybe. Oops. Uh-oh, I ended. Okay, Merc Treads for the win, baby. This guy has no mana, so he's trying to actually flex right now. You know, I'm gonna stay in his face because he's got no mana. And this empowers my whole team, right? So all the invade that's happening on the eastern quadrant becomes even more possible by the fact that I'm able to stay here. Right, it really pins this guy, and now he's stuck where he's trying to last it under turret. It also means I'm going to be able to get this wave because I've got the tier advantage. I can actually stick around for a plate as well. Teleport's coming up soon. I don't really want to greet it, but seeing that Nunu's over here and I see the bot lane, all the people are accounted for on the map, so I can actually stay here and try to greet out for my teleport timer, stay one more wave. Actually, what I can do is actually take this cannon wave and hold it right here, and now it actually just gives me like a win-win. Cannon, yeah, it's enough in risk of dying that I want to teleport. Alright, so now I just get to hold this wave state against him. I think I'm Gucci. There he is. What do you think, Ben? Am I doing all right? You missed the beginning? I'm crushing it. Kha'Zix could just come back to this and we'd be totally fine here. Wow, he was actually out of range. It's like really hard to actually get all the way out of range. You like that? No, stupid minions. Yeah, so you can't tier that. You can't question the tier. It's undefeated. This will be enough for Bork. Then I've got Bork plus tier. Tier is made, I don't know. I feel like it's such a worthwhile investment. Now, I did give up 3 plates to make this happen. It is a done turret for me. It means I also have this done, so I will just be able to kill this guy as soon as I find him, but did I give up too much to get to that point? Yeah, you've never done it. It's one of the winningest items on champions like Fiora and Camille and Aurelia. You just get the tier, you use it for it being nice. You have a lot of spells in your kit. I have time for this? I probably do. I'm gonna start cleaning this up. There, I got the cleanup. We good.
Double kill.
Do I one-shot the minions yet? Probably, right? Guess we'll find out right here. Yep. Gonna take care of business because Aurelion Soul's looking to roam in here. Put the fear of Ionia into them. Nice ult.
Dominating. Double kill.
Watch this, you ready? Block for me, thank you. This guy's trying to get an ult off to me. Hilarious. Bork and level 9, so it's not just Bork, it has to be Bork and 9.
An enemy has been slain. Executed.
Oh, that would have been an easy double. Clean. Not bad. If you don't buy Cull, yeah, you're probably over-indexing if you have both Cull, and anytime that you would back, unless you had exactly 850 and you were thinking like what to do with less than Vamp Scepter money, you know? That's the one time you'd have to have exactly like 845 as you were in base, and then maybe you could go Cull, or you could even just go a second starter item like Dorn's Shield and Tear. And Tear, the thing about Tear compared to Cull in a top laner, especially where you're fighting so much more, is too much of a stat gimp, right? You're losing too much out of it. Tear's giving you, like, I'm not gonna say infinite uptime on your spells, but pretty darn close, and like you get to make a lot of action out of that. I rarely ever have Bork and level 8. Yeah, that makes sense. If you have 4 stacks components, no Bork will one-shot backline at level 8 plus. So you have to have the 4 stacks because of the on-hit bonus. That makes sense. I love it, man. One tricks. They get all the juicy info. Let's see what this call was. Oh, whoops. I made plans. All right, that's gonna be it for me. That's gonna be it. Catch you guys next time. Tomorrow, Meta Wednesday. We already did the patch notes, so we're gonna be able to play all the new changes. Get ready for Worlds. So catch you guys next time. Make sure you check out the site gigagamingacademy.com. All right, peace.